Hello, friends. How's it going? Is it working? Yes, it is working. Let me mute myself. How's it going, everyone? Hey, Joshua. Vladimir. Hello. Hey, Ibrahim. This live was scheduled before the SAM event. Hits different now somehow. Right? Right? When I was like, for anybody who hasn't been watching, following the news in terms of what happened to OpenAI. So it's TLDR summary. Sam got fired. Now they're in discussions. A bunch of other things happen. I made a video about it, so you can check it out if you want. We can talk about it later too, because I'm like, it's yeah. This video was like scheduled way before any of these things went down. So yeah, like I want to talk about it later. Swag. Which minority are you? Ibrahim, is it time to go to bed? Hey Stephanie, how's it going? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. We used to play a game, How Late Will Tina Be? One time we told Tina the median is 7 minutes of how late she is, and then she started to join a little earlier. I said 6 minutes. Oh, it was only 4 minutes. And it was because of that. I was actually I was on time, but it took a while to load because of this internet, actually. um Hi Tina. I have to postpone my vacuum cleaning and doing laundry. Same. I have also not done my laundry or done anything really. So glad to see y'all here. Hey Ivers, how's it going? New to the lives and new to tech. Hello, welcome. Hello, Gog Ona. Kamal Hassan. I hope I pronounced your name right. Mr. Florine. Hello. DJ B-side. You're the best. Thank you. You're the best. Hey Al. Hello, Alex. It is as much non-profit as I am pro. Oh my god. Okay. We're gonna save this. Okay, I was like telling myself we wouldn't dive into this because I have so much to say about the situation. The whole non-profit shit. There was like that. Okay, just one comment. Okay, before we get started, one comment. I'm gonna give myself one comment. Can we just like appreciate the fact that OpenAI has just gotten away with a lot of things, like there's not gotten away, that's not the right word. There's just been like a lot of back and forth with that company, and just the way that they're controlling the whole situation right now, it's just so bad. So like people like literally are just going on there and then duking it out on fucking like, sorry, excuse my French, on like Twitter, on X, and just like doing that and then going back and forth, and then like the corporate jabs and things like that. Like, can we just like take a moment to think about the fact that these are the people that are pretty much in control of the most powerful tools that we have ever seen in the history of humanity? Like, this is more powerful than having the codes for the nukes right now. Okay, maybe not right now, but in the future, it will be. Like, the technology will be even more powerful than nuclear weapons. And these are the people who are in control. And that, like, I mean, I'm sure they're great people, but just the way that they're handling that situation makes me feel very concerned about our situation, like about the situation of humanity in general. Okay, I'm done. We'll talk about it later. Yes. Um, this one's interesting. Is Sama back? Not that I am aware of. Awesome content so far. Thank you. Online company called, yeah, that was hilarious. Um, Someone was like, maybe they should just go create their own company called Closed AI and actually make it open source. Although I think Sam is the one who's who's being very pushy on the like commercialized. Okay, Tina, stop. Shh. Stop. Okay, very good. I am reorienting myself. Okay. For this live stream, so we don't have a guest today. It's just me. Sorry to disappoint. What we're going to be going through today is going through creating custom GPTs. through the GPTs that were released, I think it's like 2 weeks back, a week and a half back during Dev Day. So these are essentially custom AI agents. They're not fully autonomous agents, but they are heading in that direction that you can customize them in a lot of different ways. So we're going to talk about how to create one. We're going to create one in the process. Also be talking about how to integrate Zapier into it so you can have lots of custom actions that you can incorporate as third-party tools into your GPT. And one of them is going to be Zapier. So what I'm going to be demonstrating today is going to be Zapier. Yeah, and then also if you guys like this series, so I was thinking of going through. So this is okay. Getting ahead of myself. So this is going to be 101. So you don't need to know how to code. No worries on that part. But if you guys are interested, I am thinking about um doing like a maybe like a series, and next time we'll dive into the assistance API where there will be more coding that is going to be all. That's kind of my plan. And then because assistance API would allow you to integrate these into different applications, into different websites as well, and it's a very powerful way of integrating AI into your software. So that's the plan for today. That's the agenda for today. Any questions, comments, thoughts? Abdul, I love you. Big fan. Thank you. That's so nice of you. Thanks for joining. Okay, I'm gonna wait like 1 minute for any questions, comments, or thoughts before I get started. Actually, I'm gonna pull up my GPTs right now if I can find it. Maybe probably just do a demo first. Riverside. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. Well, that's loading up. Let me see. Questions, concerns, thoughts. New to the lives and new to tech. Let's see. What are the benefits of a custom GPT? Really good question. So I think this would come out as we're doing the demos as well. But the way that I like to think about GPTs, it's essentially creating like a chatbot where like something a chatbot or something like some sort of agent that does a very specific task for you. For example, the one we're going to be doing is creating a YouTube creator assistant for developing video transcripts. So you're able to customize it so it does that specific task, and you're also able to link together different third-party softwares on top of that, and then also integrate that into specific technologies. I'm sorry, technologies into specific applications. That's why it's powerful. So from a user perspective, that's why this is like pretty much the first step towards autonomous agents, which we know that OpenAI is going for, which is being able to say, for example, tell it that you are a, I don't know, what do we tell it to be? Like you're a sales agent, for example, right? You are like a customer experience sales agent, and then it would be able to autonomously manage that entire workflow of getting someone to purchase something and going through the entire sales stream, whatever that might be. Not a salesperson, but does that make sense? I hope that was a little bit rambly, but that's the explanation that made the most sense to me, at least. So agents that are able to do specific tasks, and this is the first step towards being able to autonomously do it. And after we do that, the whole idea that OpenAI was going for is that this will essentially be leading up to AGI. So all of these like specific little functions, being able to do specific things very well, all of that's going to come together and create um, artificial general intelligence, which is when you get a AI that has the ability to learn, to be intelligent, to have capabilities matching the one as a human in all different aspects. So that was the plan for OpenAI. And this is the first step. From a technology perspective, I just want to make a point saying it's not actually that revolutionary. The ability of making the chatbots, it really is just a systems prompt. If any of you guys have played around with the API, the chat completions API before, but the way that it's being done into a user consumer product is a way that's going to be able to get a lot of allow a lot of people to integrate that into their software, and to be able to use that as an interface as opposed to having to go through the code to do that. Let me know if that made sense about what a agent is and why GPTs are important. First time joining live. Hello all. Sanger, Thanasis, hello. Custer survivors, hello Caleb. Hey Michael, hey Mac, hey Byron. I'm really having difficulty reading papers about CV and NLP. Can you tell some effective ways? Well, another thing that I've played around with, like creating a custom GPT that's able to summarize papers for you, like read through PDFs and summarize it for you. It's really good at that. It also does have computer vision built into it already. So I was summarizing books and stuff I was summarizing like books like Poetics by Aristotle, like books that if I try to read myself, I'd probably fall asleep. It does a really good job at going through that. So I would recommend doing something like that. Um, Great explanation. So it's similar to ChatGPT's regular use case, but with more features and more focused customizations, plugins, automations. Exactly. It's like you can think about a custom ChatGPTs from a user perspective. So it knows what it is that's supposed to do, and then it utilizes all the different features and focus customization. So it's not like a general chat bot. It's specific to a specific role that you can super customize. What's the scope of customization for these GPTs? Okay, that is a question that will probably best be answered as I go through creating this. So for anybody that has access to OpenAI's the ChatGPT Plus or Enterprise, I think it's like $20. Like I think they made it like $20 per month now. So it is a paid product. If anybody has access, like please feel free to follow along and just do this. I know sometimes when I want to do something and I'm like, I should really try this out. And then there's just like the inertia of getting started for some reason. So for anybody that has access was like, I should try it out, but didn't really do it, take this as an opportunity to just go through it while I'm doing it too. So you can start experimenting. You have to buy a subscription. Yes, you do. So this is a paid product. Can this be done in the Visual Studio 2020? You mean you mean VS Code? Yeah, so you can do that. When we go through the APIs, probably like next tutorial, if you guys are interested, we'll go through the tutorials. I'll show you how it is that you can do it through code as well, through chat completions as well as the assistance API. All right, why don't we get started? I think a lot of questions will be answered as we do things. Okay, so I want to introduce you to one example that I made, which is a script wizard. So this is YouTube's creator assistant for developing video transcripts. So I kind of want to show you a demo of what it is that we're going to be building today. So for example, I need a script for my latest video concept. You guys can see my screen, right? Just want to double check. Is it big enough? Okay, it looks like it's big enough. Okay, cool. All right, so Script Wizard says, great, I'll be happy to help you with your script. Could you please share some details about your video concept? Specifically, I'll need to know main topic, target audience, key points or messages you want to include, tone and style you're aiming for, approximate length of the video. All right, so let's do, okay. So I want to make a video on the history of OpenAI and how it is the history of OpenAI and what's it's going. How do I phrase this? Okay, the history of OpenAI and what they are doing now and moving into the future. The target audience is people interested in AI and technology. So this is like a little trick if any of you guys are using this. I generally set the audience age, like my target audience. I set it as around like 15 years old as the reading level. Is people who are at a 15-year-old reading level. Just makes it easier to digest. Any key points or messages you want to include? I want to include the founding of OpenAI and what happened with Elon and Sam. Tone and style you're aiming for. I want the tone to be educational but still entertaining. Length should be 12 minutes to 18 minutes. Enter. All right, it's doing its thing. Let me get some water. Can GPT be made into specific image editing software? So they only generate different outfits for people who upload their photo. Yes, absolutely. That's something that you can easily do. Yeah, it's actually a pretty easy use case. You would just prompt it so that it would um, do like certain things, and you probably do it through Dali. Greetings from Chile. Hello. Abdul, we talk about that later. Don't get me started. Is that so, Alfredo? Is everyone in here working in tech? No, not at all. I think we have a pretty diverse group. Write in the comments where it is that you work, what industry you work in. I love you, girl. Oh, I thank you. Um, is this the paid version? Yes. So this is only available for people who are paying for it right now. It does have knowledge cutoff. It does have knowledge cutoff, which is why we're creating the outline and we're going to be working together with it to get to a certain point and then giving it more information until we get to the final script. Although it can search Bing. So like as we're doing it, we can also ask it to put in the additional details that's happening right now. So with this GPT now, it has access, like at base access, it has code interpreter, it has DALI for image generation, and it has searching, internet searching function. And as I was saying earlier, you can also incorporate a lot of other things into it as well, like Zapier. I'm making guacamole in Mexico. I would like to have some. Can I have some of that guacamole in Mexico? That sounds really good. I haven't eaten yet. Okay, so thank you for providing details. Based on your requirements, I'll structure the script into 4 main sections: a captivating hook, a brief introduction, an engaging formative main body, and a concise conclusion. I'll show you guys the prompt later as to why it said it in this fashion. The script will cover the history of OpenAI, its founding, notable events, including those involving Elon Musk and Sam Altman, and a look into OpenAI's future endeavors. The tone will be educational yet entertaining, suitable for an audience with a reading level of around 15 years old. The script will be designed to fit a video length approximately 12 to 18 minutes. Wonderful outline. Okay, so hook, start with a thought-provoking statement or question about AI's impact on society, hinting at OpenAI's role. Sounds good. Introduction, okay, like what it is. Sounds good. Main body is early history, vision of OpenAI, key developments and projects, the shift in leadership direction, and current endeavors and future outlooks. Conclusion is summarize the journey of OpenAI and its ongoing quest in the AI landscape. End with a reflective question or statement. Okay, and it actually writes the script for us. So hook, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, OpenAI, all these different things. Okay, so we would normally go through this and then make some edits to it, and I'll show you guys when we're actually going to be building this together again, and we'll go into more of those details now. But assuming that we're cool with it, we can just say this. Actually, you know what? Let me just ask it. How about this? So we can see the search functionality. Can you search on the internet to include some of the more recent events, such as the firing of Sam Altman? I'm actually curious what what ChatGPT would say about this. So doing research with Bing, you can do that. Renan, I would like to develop an application focused on personal assistance with GPT and integrate it into an application in Apple Store. Yeah, you can totally do that. Actually, yeah. Right now, also let me know in the comments. Like, is there anything that you're particularly interested in developing? And we can actually, if there's some pretty cool ideas, we can go through and work through them together. Just like, yeah, I don't know. Would you guys be interested in a series like that? Like, we just build a bunch of different apps. Custer survivors, retired military. Um, see. It can't scrape the web. It can. It can do that. Okay, let's see. Is it writing? Yeah, it's still writing stuff. Hospitality and adventure tourism. Nice. Not to be know-it-all, I really don't. Web scraping also should be native built-in per that. Dev day a few weeks ago per SAP. Yeah. Yes, it can do that. That's gonna be insane. I'm in marketing SEO specifically in many industries. Ooh, interesting. SEO is something that I've always been like, I knew that it's important to do, but I've just never really looked into it. What I'm really interested in, Lewis, I don't know if you have the answer to this. How, like, since people are using ChatGPT as search more often now, like, do you have any ideas about how marketing is going to adapt to that? Like, I don't know how like ranking and things like that would work if you're using an interface like this. I don't know. It seems like it would be hard, wouldn't it? I also see plugins enabled, so it seems like the choices are with being with plugins natively, at least for GPT-4. Yeah, so that's like the what's already available natively, and of course you can give it other functions, like other actions that you can use other third-party tools for scraping as well. Okay, let's see what it got. All right, based on your requirements for video script, including recent events, here's an updated script draft incorporating latest developments after searching Bing. Okay, so what has it added? Okay, key developments and projects, the shift in leadership and direction, and current endeavors and future outlook. Ooh, in a surprising turn, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman was fired, followed by the resignation of co-founder Greg Brockman and 3 senior researchers. This move shocked the AI community and raised questions about the future direction of OpenAI. That's actually pretty accurate. Despite these challenges, OpenAI continues to innovate. Recent projects include GPT-4 Turbo, Assistance API, advancements in multimodal AI, such as image recognition and things like that. Although this did happen after the fact that this happened before he got fired. But anyways, true, as we looked to the future, OpenAI's commitment to AI development remains steadfast, with new ventures on the horizon, including custom models tailored for specifically organizational needs. Optimistic. Makes sense. From its ambitious inception, okay. So assuming we like this, okay, please let me know if you have any modifications, further details, or additional elements. I like this. Let's say that. If this is the final version you're going, I can proceed to save it into a Google Doc. Just let me know if you're ready for that and also suggest a title for the document. Once you confirm, I'll get started on creating a document for you. So yeah, this is the Zapier integration. We're now able to do this. Let's name it the history of OpenAI. History and looking towards the future. Yeah, let's call it that. All right. Tina, do you play chess? Not really. Kind of. I know how to play chess. I'm not very good at it. Ooh, you're a medic. Cluster survivors. Okay. Also, ex-military and now medic. That's really cool. Thank you for your service. Series would be great. Practical hands-on is fantastic. Yeah. Well, if you guys like, we'll do this first one. If you guys think it's cool, we can probably do the API, the assistance API first, and then we can create software. I don't know, through the lunch and learns. That I would love to do that. That sounds like it would be fun. Okay, so some info will be sent to actions.zapier. I'll only do this for sites that you trust, and I'm going to click allow here. So this is going to go to Zapier. How do you pronounce it, buddy? Is it Zapier or Zapier? I have no idea how to say it, but it's going to do that. So that we can start the action and save things. Hello from New York City. When you visiting New York City? Probably next year. I'm in Vancouver again right now. So I was in Austin, Vancouver. Probably gonna go to Asia for Christmas and see my family, and then SF, New York, maybe next year. I have some friends that I like to see in New York. Okay, so it did its thing. Talk to actions.zapier.com. So it did these things, and then it talked to that. Talk to what? Okay. So Script Wizard sent this info. So he sent it over. Oops. Okay, so let's say the Google Doc titled "The History of OpenAI Looking Towards the Future has been successfully created." You can view and edit document using the link here. Okay, so this is the link over here. Okay, it did not do as what I would have liked it to do, but that's okay. See, this is an example of things not going exactly as planned because I wanted to actually take the whole kind of script over here, like script draft, and put that all of that into a Google Doc. So let's try again. You only put a portion of the script in the Google Doc. Can you put the entire script in the Google Doc? So I think we need to modify some of the prompt a little bit later. Okay, including the hook, main body, etc. So let's try it again. Starting action. Is that Zapier or Zapier? I still don't know how it's pronounced. Is it Zape or Zaps? Allow. Let's see. Could you show us the prompts you use for the bot and the kind of data you upload? Yes, I will be doing that. So after this little demo, we're actually going to go build it together. Okay, fingers crossed. Is it going to work this time? No, it did not. Well, there you go. It did not work. So it did work previously when I was testing it out. It didn't work this well this time, but we're going to build this and we're going to optimize it together. I also just want to make a note. The reason why you get like inconsistencies like this is because you're doing it directly through the interface. Through like creating the custom GPTs, which is great for most functions. But if we're going through the assistance API where we can create these GPTs programmatically, what I would do is like send the information as a JSON. So I make sure that all the fields are specifically listed correctly. So you wouldn't get like instances in which you're like sometimes this entire transcript is put in, sometimes like parts of it is going to be put in or not. So that's one of the key differences between using the UI itself versus the programmatic approach. All right, in any case, we demonstrated its little functionalities. So why don't we actually go and build this together? Any questions before we get started, or we just get started building? Is this being recorded as a video too? Yes, so it's still going to be here afterwards. Do not worry. All right. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna create a new one, and I'm gonna send you guys a link for some of the content. So 1 second, get that link. Okay, so let's get started. So we're gonna explore, create a GPT. So we're gonna create a new one. All right, so this is what the GPT builder looks like. It's gonna interactively go through with you, and then it also has a configure tab where you can just add things directly if you want to yourself. And it has certain capabilities and actions that we're going to talk about. So let's just go through like the interface itself right now. So hi, I'll help you build a new GPT. Because you can say something like make it creative who helps generate visuals for new products. What would you like to make? So let's say make a YouTube video assistant that helps me come up with scripts for YouTube videos on concepts that I'm interested in making. So it's gonna build the thing. Oh, thank you, Darius, for supporting the channel. Appreciate it. Okay, so it says, great choice. Your GPT, is it too small, by the way, or is it okay? I'll make it a little bit bigger. Is that better? Okay, Hopefully that's better. Okay, so great choice. Your GPT will be a YouTube video assistant that helps you create scripts for YouTube videos on topics you're interested in. Let's give your GPT a name. How about Script Wizard? Yes, I like that name. I was generating a profile pic now. Oh yeah, here's the link in the meantime. We're gonna be using I downloaded a couple videos here that we're gonna be using to give it as samples of what our YouTube videos we want it to look like. They're just my own videos. So a couple of them here. You can download those too if you want to follow along and also make a GPT. Cool. We look like a wizard. What do you think? Sure. That looks great. Okay, now it's gonna say fantastic. Now let's refine the context a bit. Um, what kind of assistance would you like scriptwriter to do? For example, should it focus more on developing detailed scripts? Whoa, what just happened there? Did it just glitch? I think it just glitched. Wait, let me try up. Whoa, I've never seen that before. I think it just glitched. Oh man, whatever is happening at OpenAI, I think I think the base model itself is getting agitated. Um, but anyways, so let's see what's actually already in the prompt. So you can see the instructions over here. Your role is to assist in creating YouTube videos, blah, blah, blah. Adapt your response to the match user's tone and style preference. Okay, so I'm going to give you some samples of the video styles I'm going for that will help you develop a script. So what I can do here is I can actually link the two videos. They're just two of my more recent videos as an example of how it is that I want it to write the script. What happened? Yeah, it just glitched. I think it became AGI. I feel like it just became dumber, not smarter. OpenAI team is busy with other stuff. They need to rehire Sam today. All the products start glitching because he leaves. GPT is missing Sam. I can imagine it's just like, I miss Sam. I would freak out. Oh my god. If it did that, isn't that like the beginning of a horror? Let's not talk about that. That would be so scary. Okay. So let's give it these files. That happened to me as well. Especially last week. Oh, okay. Maybe it wasn't because of Sam then. Great, you've uploaded two video files for reference. I'll use these to better understand the style and content. By the way, is anybody actually following along? I just want to see if there's anybody following along right now. Totally fine if you're not. Just curious. See if you have any questions. Is that link an actual video file or transcripts? Yeah, so if you go to the link, it's a Google Drive and it has two of my video in it. Yeah. Let's see. Wait, I have a question. When I was showing you guys the when I was showing you guys the Google Doc, were you guys not able to see the Google Doc? I just realized that could you see the Google Doc? You couldn't. Oh my god, why didn't anybody tell me? Wait. I'll show you guys the Google Doc I was talking about. Um, oh my god. So I was just talking to myself. Okay. So this was the Google Doc that I generated earlier. Okay, tell me next time, okay? This is the Google Doc that was generated earlier through ChatGPT. So Zapier was able to put the transcript or part of the transcript into a Google Doc. Okay. Yes. um the okay, now you guys can see that, right? Okay. Yeah, and then the folder I was showing you guys was the customs GPT folder, which let me put over here. So so yeah, the custom GPTs 101. So this is where I put two of my videos here. So you can just download them and you can upload them as additional information to give our GPT. I can see the Google Doc. Okay, so you couldn't see it before, right? Okay, my bad. But yeah, that's what the Google Doc looks like in case you were interested. Um David, thank you. I must go now. Goodbye. Thanks for joining. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's continue. So great, you uploaded two videos. I'll use these to better understand the style and content you're aiming for in your YouTube script. Let's start with the first video. Please tell me a bit about what you find appealing or important in OpenAI Samfired. I like the way that it was structured. I like that it had a hook, and also that it had evidence that was being provided at each step. It was clear in structure. In fact, let's make sure all the videos that we make will follow four parts: hook, uh, introduction of myself slash the topic, the main body, and brief conclusion. Ibrahim, do you think we won't need Streamlit like apps now to create custom chatbots powered by the OpenAI API? No, I don't think you do. Especially with the assistance API, I don't think you do anymore. Okay, ready to craft script architect. Yes. So ready to craft a captivating YouTube script. What's your topic? All right. So I want. Can I test it out now? Okay, let's try looking at the instructions. So this is the prompt that's there. Your primary role is by the user's preference as seen as the video. Okay, so it's really two videos as seen in the OpenAI Sam Fired MPV video and the what's the other video called? Oh yeah, here's where you can show the extra have uploaded files of extra knowledge you're giving it. So I think this one is called how to become a speed learner with ChatGPT as well. So with the how to become a speed learner with ChatGPT .mp4 video. Yeah, with ChatGPT. So let's write that correctly. Okay, that is here. So in this role, you'll offer creative suggestions and guidance to ensure the script is engaging and clear. I just want to also add and be mindful of maintaining a logical flow and clear transitions between each part of the script. Make sure that each script, oh, by the way, you can like go through the creation process where you can just configure it directly through instructions. So I'm just going to do this because it's faster. Make sure that each script, each video script contains 4 sections: a hook, an introduction of the topic, a the body in sequential order, the body and a brief conclusion. Make sure to use as much evidence and visual storytelling, visual and oral storytelling techniques. Okay. So I'm gonna make these starter questions into create a video for me based on a topic I'm interested in. And the second will be like how to create a good video script. Okay, let's just do this for now. All right, so let's try it out. Create a video for me based on a topic I'm interested in. Let's just see if there's anybody that has any questions or thoughts. I have no excuse now to not make YouTube videos, right? Also with Zapier, you can there's these apps that you can do to get video kind of avatars, and they're really good, like the voiceovers and stuff. I would say in terms of content wise, creating content is really easy now. I do think if you want to create really good content, that you should definitely use these tools, and then in the end incorporate like different types of storytelling techniques and things like that that you want to do. But yes, creating content, even video content, is really easy now. All right, where are we at? Great, I'll be able to help you craft a script for your video. To get started, could you please share the topic you're interested in? Be helpful to know your target audience, any specific goals or key points you want to include in your video. This will help me tailor the script to your needs. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing that we did previously. Create a video on the history of OpenAI and on what to do and on what they are doing now and looking to the future. The target audience should be 15-year-old reading ability, reading level. The video should be 12 to 18 minutes long. There. Um, okay. So it's giving me all this information. Okay, cool. This looks fine. So hook, introduction, body, and conclusion. So okay, it goes through all these things. Okay, so assuming that we like this, right? This is good. What we want to do now is the original function, one of Zapier's functionalities, where you can save it to a Google Doc. So let's close these for now. In order to do that, we need to go to Zapier. So I'm just gonna like Zapier GPT actions, which is going to be here. If you go to configure over here, there is a place that's called action. So APIs this GPT can use. So the way that an action works is that it lets you incorporate third-party stuff, either through like different functionalities or different information. So you can include a lot of different apps that are out there. If you guys have checked out the ChatGPT store, like with all the plugins and things like that, it's essentially being able to incorporate those plugins directly into your GPT. So in this case, we're going to use Zapier. For those of you who don't know, Zapier is this really cool website app that allows you to integrate a lot of different third-party tools into whatever it is that you're trying to do. So you can create, for example, linking to Google stuff like saving things from Google Drive. You can do it for creating videos. You can do it for logging into a lot of different things. So let me just show you guys. I can't think right now. All the things that it can do. So if you just go to zapier.com, I'll show you. Okay, Zapier integrates over 3,000 apps. So you can go on Gmail, automating your email tasks, Slack, keeping your team informed by automating notifications, reminders, and Trello, automating your project management tasks. So yeah, basically you can do like a lot of different automations, and it's mostly no code. So that is really helpful for people. Um, here's some of the example apps that you can incorporate. Okay, those are my apps. Just kidding. Can you give me some examples of different apps? Okay, social media, e-commerce, productivity. Okay, you get the point. So we're going to integrate ChatGPT with Zapier. So what we have here is, to get started, you have to copy this special URL to your clipboard, and this will give the schema that is going to be used. So say import from URL over here, paste and import. This is going to go give the schema that's going to be required to do these actions. You don't need to know what all of this is over here. Don't worry about it. And the available actions from HTTP is just going to be listing available actions and run actions. So you get a get and a post. That's the endpoints that we're going for. Again, don't worry about it. It'll become more relevant when we're talking about Assistance API, but you don't need to do anything over here. So now that we do have it incorporated, so they have a nice little guide, which I'll also put in the chat over here. It tells you what it is that you need to do. So you have it configured, and now you need to tell ChatGPT what it is that it has to do with this new integration. So it gives some examples like calendar assistant GPTs and dossier GPT. So let me just put that link over here. There you go. And going back to ChatGPT, so what we need to do is go to the create, the configure, and in the instructions area, we need to add in the instructions that are going to be needed. So I already done this. You can, just to save us a little bit of time, I'm gonna go through and just explain like the different parts of the instructions, and then I'll tell you the instructions that we can put in here. So what you do is that you tell it like before, let me see. Okay, so what you tell it is that you tell it what you want to do. Like, for example, here, before running any actions, tell the user they need to reply after the action completes to continue. And then it would say something like, tell the user you're checking that have your Zapier AI actions, what actions are available, things like that. And then in this case, since they're trying to build a calendar, so they have Google Calendar find event and Slack send direct messages is the actions that are required. So I'm going through this really quickly. So feel free to ask any questions like later, or ask them now if you want. But what they have here is that you have a calendar assistant GPT. So you're able to go through the agenda, and it tells you like what the agenda is supposed to look like, and it tells you the rules and the steps for the GPT, so it knows what it is that it has to do. So in our case over here, what we're going to tell it to do, so we can paste these over here. You know what? I'm going to open up a drive, like a prompt drive, so I can show you guys the full prompt that we have. So the Zapier part of it, okay, so I just put this over here. Okay. All right. So can you guys see? So when the user, what we're going to say is when the user confirms that this is the final script that we created, I will save the full script into a single Google Doc by following these steps. And then we write down what the steps are. So step 1 is to give a suggestion for the title of the doc and ask for confirmation of the title. Step 2 is to use the Zapier action Google Docs create document from text to create a new Google document with the title from step 1. And step 3 is to use the Zapier action Google Docs create document from text to save the script to the document. The rules that you wanted to follow. So in here, I have the default one that I just copy pasted from the example that they showed over here, which is before running any actions, tell the user they need to reply after the action completes to continue. And then also structure the content of the Google Doc as title, script, format the title to be bold, and the remainder of the script as bullet points when needed. So those are the 2 rules that I gave it. And for the instructions for how to use the custom action, I just copy pasted from what they have over here. The only difference is for the required actions. What they had was that they wanted to make a Google Calendar find event, but in this case, we have a Google Docs create document from text action. So there's lots of actions that you can do that you can find on the Zapier website as well. So it'll tell you what are the things that you would need to change to chain the different steps together. Oh shoot, I think I just stopped sharing my screen. My bad. Okay, so let me see. Do you guys have any questions? I'm going to copy this in. Let me know if you have any questions about any of this before we click enter. So I'm just going to copy all of this. And then for ChatGPT here, and then just paste all of that here. Okay, see if you guys have any questions. Actually, before you do that, I just put the prompt in the same drive as earlier. And you know what I'm going to do is I am actually just going to pin it so you guys can have access to it. Copy link. It's going to be over here. Drive with stuff. Okay, so I'm going to pin that. Pin message. One more thing as we're going through this, if you want, if you want to get in a summary email about everything that's happening with all the resources that are all linked, as well as like future events and things like that, you can also join a mailing list, which I'm also just going to put on the chat. So just join that. We just send one email a week telling you about the things that happened last week, all the resources that are there, and then whatever is happening for the week after. It's completely free, so you can join if you want. But yeah, I also pinned the drive over there. Let's see if there's any questions that you have. What do you put for privacy policy? Good question. Thank you, Sixshop, and thank you for supporting the channel. Yeah, I'll show you guys in a bit. We will be publishing the entire thing. So I would just take you can put a URL for the privacy policy. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So you're linking the GPT to the site's URL. You're linking the GPT to some endpoints through Zapier, so it's able to go and connect it and then do the actions that you pre-specified, if that makes sense. Well, GPTs teach us how to create custom humans. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Let me actually give you the privacy policy that I put in just for now, so I don't forget later as well, because I have a tendency of forgetting everything, unfortunately. So I put the docspot.ai privacy policy, so I'm also going to put it as just additional GPT information. So the privacy policy is this one that I put in, so you can just link it. And it's up here. So we put the prompt over here, which we will edit the prompt a little bit later if we do. And I'm also just going to put, so privacy policy is the one that we're going to put over here. Okay, so it looks like we can just go ahead and do this then. Sounds good. Okay, let's do this again. So create a video for me based on a topic. It should be able to, fingers crossed, you never know these days, should be able to create this. All right. Let it do its thing. How's it doing? Absolutely. Okay, so we're just gonna do the same thing that we were doing previously. I'm just gonna copy paste it. Too much effort. Okay. Let it do its thing again. Okay, did it finish? Okay, would you like to proceed with this outline, or are there any adjustments you would like to make? Once we have the structure finalized, I'll flesh out each section with more detailed content. Please flesh out each section with detailed content. Okay, so let it do that. Absolutely, let's flesh everything out. Great. Okay, so it's like writing a full-on script now. See if you have any comments or questions. Why do you have specific conversation starters? Do you need those? You don't need them. It kind of just defaults into that, so people can just click it. When you publish it and other people can use it, it can be a good way to start talking to the GPT. Question: logs and logging. Other than chain of thought, are there logs we can see to help debug, like incomplete writes in the Google Doc, or do you have to use the API to get that level of detail? So I believe you do need to use the API to get that level of detail. What I would say is you can check out the assistance API playground, and it can show you. Yeah, if you check out over here, I'll put the link as well. It would show you everything. But I do believe that you cannot get to that level of detail just through the UI itself. Okay, wonderful. Let's finalize it. So, oh wait. Here. Okay, right. Let's finalize script before proceeding to create it. How about exploring the world of OpenAI? Sure, let's just do that. Okay, so it's gonna ask for allowing, so let's allow that. I guess it does give you like some of that in terms of the calling the HTTP endpoints and things like that as the logs, but you don't get the actual like logs that's going on inside GPT-4. That I think you do need to use the assistance API for it. All right. The video script title exploring the world of OpenAI video script has been successfully created. Ooh. All right. Let's see if it's gonna work. What does it look like? No, it didn't work. Can you put the full script from above? Yeah, I feel like this is somehow it suddenly became a problem recently. You know what? I'm just gonna try to debug this real quick and see if I can just copy this part. I'm just gonna copy it. Okay. Can you put the full script in the doc? Yeah, let's see if that works. Yeah, we need to like change this a little bit. Let me see what I can change. Hello. Okay, that's not working. Okay, I think we need to go here and be like, it's not putting the full outline full script into the document. Can you help me make sure that is done? Okay, anyways, we are out of time. So before we actually end, I'm going to continue doing this and I'll stay behind if anybody wants to talk about stuff. There is one thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Okay, any questions? Is DocSpot your site? No, it's not. I just found the privacy policy. Oh yeah, actually let's go through that part real quick first. So in order to save it, we can go over here and then it's going to tell you public actions require valid privacy policies. So you can click here to update. So privacy, the privacy policy that I took was just from this DocSpot AI. So I'm not going to go through the legal docs right now, but you do need to put in a privacy policy in order to publish it. So we're save over here. Right now, let's just only publish. Oh no, it's not working. Oh no, what happened? Configured invalid action. I do not believe this one should have been a valid action. Okay, so privacy policy is going to be over here, and we're going to save it, script architect, and then we're going to confirm it. So the privacy policy should be related to whatever it is that you're doing. And that example here, yeah. So feel free to go through it. It's like sharing your data, cookies, things like that, that information. And there you go. It's published. So I think we can actually copy the link and it should work. So here, I'll put the link here as well. You guys can check out that link. But yeah, before we talk about more things, given the fact that, oops, the link is over here. Yay, it's published. Congrats, everybody. Now we have a script architect. Crafts engaging YouTube video scripts. So it sounded like you guys would be interested in doing that API, the assistance API and things like that. So what I would love to do is if you guys, let me think, what is it that I can do? Okay, so I was gonna leave you guys some homework for people who are interested in doing the assistance API. And I have been testing out something with full transparency. I've been testing out something with Brilliant. So we've been talking about sponsoring live streams with Brilliant. And what I can do is I can give you guys some homework on Brilliant if you want to check that out. I give you some homework. And this video would then be sponsored by Brilliant. And then next time it would be really good because I can use some of that in order to give you guys access to a key, like I can give you guys access to the API key that we can use for that live stream. So you don't have to pay for the assistance API because then I can use some of those funds from Brilliant sponsorship in order to do that. So we're kind of being like talking about the sponsorships and seeing if we want to do that moving forward because they would allow me to be paid for doing this work for you guys while keeping it free for everybody. And I would be able to cover some of that cost that's associated with using the API keys. Does that sound good to everybody? If we do something like that? If you would like to do that, I will give you some homework to go through as well. And you can just sign up for Brilliant. What would help me a lot as well, if you just sign up for Brilliant, I have like a specific link. Let me see if I can find it. This would show them that there are people who are genuinely interested in doing these. And if you do purchase through my link, that's 20% off for a premium membership. But yeah, I think it would be cool if they could do sponsorships of a series where we're going to be going through like the APIs and things like that. Sounds great. Brilliant for sponsorship. So yeah, would really help me out if you could go there. And in preparation for the API stuff, I'm actually going to assign you guys some homework For anybody who doesn't know how to code, if you already know how to code, you should be fine. But in case you don't know how to code, what I can do is give you some homework to do before showing up next time. And we can do that through Brilliant. So you don't need to do this just through, you don't need to pay just to access these courses. Of course, if you want the premium membership and like more of the courses and more of the access material, you would need to do it, but you can try out Brilliant using this as well. So if you don't know how to code, let's actually go to brilliant.org and I'll assign you guys some homework. So they have a lot of courses over here. So how LLMs work, thinking in code, creative coding, all of these things that are available. Um, a lot of these are going to be on the premium version of things. So I would say the basis of what you need to know. So algebra, mathematical thinking, geometry, things like that. The basis that I'm going to ask you guys to know though is on the computer science section. Foundational computer science. So computer science fundamentals is the one that I'm going to ask you guys to must cover if you don't know how to code and you are interested in using the API, the assistance API, and those tutorials moving forward. So I'll say computational thinking, writing programs. These two are the two that I think are really important. For building data structures, like algorithms and data structure, it's nice. It's definitely nice to do, but it's not something that you have to do. So I would say start with this one, computational thinking, which is thinking in code. It tells you how to like launch things, how to write programs, and how to do like conditional statements. So I can click into this to show you what it looks like. So conditional statements empower programmers to write code that can make decisions and flexibly respond to a variety of situations. So we can do this together. Conditional statements. We are now in a world of limited visibility where the robots can only see one square around it. There are coins along the boundaries of the grid, but we can no longer see where they are. Okay, maybe we needed context. What will happen when we run the following code on a limited visibility grid? But you guys can see my screen, right? Yeah. What would happen when we run the following code on a limited visibility grid? So move forward, turn right. As you can see, I have not done this question before either. I think it should be what? Oh, move forward, turn right. So move forward. Oh, okay. So I think move forward, turn right. No, 3 times. Move forward, turn right. So I think it would be at the wall, right? Is it at the wall? I think we stop before reaching the wall because there's no what? Okay, yeah. The wall is, or are we talking about here? We're starting at the very corner. Okay, I think we needed more context. But I think we stop before reaching the wall, right? Does anybody know? We can't be sure. Should I just click we can't be sure? I think we needed context on this one. Because I think it should be move forward here. There's no wall around it. So I think we stop before reaching the wall, right? But what does it mean? What will happen? Oh, wait. The limited visibility. Oh my God. So embarrassing. I clearly cannot read. We wouldn't know what happens because we don't know what would be happening. You're right, Yaya. You're right. Okay, we can't be sure. That's right. Depending on the size of the grid, we may crash into a wall, stop at the wall, or turn before reaching it. That was embarrassing. Um, anyways, yeah, this is the like interface. If you're interested in using Brilliant, I really like the interface personally because I like video courses for sure, but this is a lot more interactive. And all of their courses are like this. They're also done in house, so you don't have to go in. It's not like they get people to come in and make the courses, so the quality is always really, really high for the courses that they do have. I would say in terms of courses, the catalog isn't as big as other ones, but every single course they have is really, really high quality. So yeah, that's why I like it. Yep. See right here. If there's no wall in front, We would like to turn if a wall is ahead to avoid crashing. A conditional statement allows us to make a choice in our code. The robot should run different code depending on whether the path ahead is clear or not. If there's no wall in front, we move forward because the front is clear. If front is clear is true, and then you would move forward. Continue. If there's a wall in front, we turn right to avoid crashing because the front is blocked. If front is cleared, false, then it's going to be blocked, and it does that. A conditional statement chooses an action based on true or false conditions such as front is clear. If in this conditional statement, the robot's path is clear or blocked. Move forward, else turn right. Here's another condition. Yeah, see, that was a very nice way of explaining conditional statements. All of their courses are pretty much like this, like very visual and explains the concepts very well. Anyways, yeah, so that's the homework I would assign you guys. For anybody that doesn't know how to code, do those sections. Again, sign up for the email list. I can tell you guys what the homework is as well. But I would really appreciate it if you guys can also just go through my link, which I will pin as well. Go through my link if you're going to go through the homework, and if you're going to purchase it, it would be really helpful to go through the link as well. That would show to them that there's a lot of interest in these live streams and the things that we're going to be doing. And it would be really cool if we continue that sponsorship. If I can continue that sponsorship with Brilliant, we can assign different courses using Brilliant. And then also I would be able to cover some of that cost. I can give you guys like access to different resources that normally we would have to pay for. Let me put that. Please sign up for Brilliant using this link. Cool. I'm gonna pin this. This would be really, really helpful. All right. Well, that is everything that I have. We can talk about debugging the rest of the ChatGPT stuff. We're talking about other things. I can stay for a little bit of time. I want to see if your comments. If I'm already on Brilliant, is there a way I can still show them I support you? Ooh, so I think if you click through the links, it would showcase the amount of interest that people would have like throughout this entire live stream. So that would be really, really helpful if you do that, if you already purchased it. We can't be sure. I'm going to take bioinformatics next semester, but no experience programming yet. Any resources to practice basics in about a month? Ooh, I actually bioinformatics. So is it like mostly on the coding side that you already have experience in the biology side and not in the coding side, or only in coding and oh my god, I literally can't read today. What is wrong with me? No experience programming yet. Okay. Oh god. In that case, Brilliant, like that course that I just assigned everybody, like computer science and programming 1.2, computer science fundamentals, just I would say do that series of courses. It's honestly pretty good. Like I really think it's pretty good. It'll give you the basics for how to code, and some of the fundamentals for it as well. I think you don't really need to know that much. Let me see. Screen. Yeah, I would say you definitely would need to know computational thinking about how to think about stuff, writing programs, make a computer do what you want elegantly and efficiently, and then building blocks. This is not super necessary. Like it talks about data structures and how memory works and things like that. It's not super necessary for bioinformatics. You might want to do some neural network stuff. So, for example, how large language models work. Well, that was another course as well. But underlying the large language models is going to be neural networks. You might be using that if you're going to be doing some machine learning, large language model things. But I don't think it's important to do that yet for bioinformatics to start with. They do have like, I'm assuming your math is fine, right? Like if you have good math, you should be fine. Because I also did work in bioinformatics before. The math that you probably need the most is scrolling through. I would recommend this section: exploring data visually, explaining variations and data analysis fundamentals, random variables, and distributions. This is going to be really important because you're going to be visualizing a lot of the stuff that you're doing in bioinformatics and data science in general, like through coding. So, this I would say is important. You probably already know the probability stuff for stats. Um, yeah, again, don't know your math level, but you should probably have stats fundamentals, hypothesis testing, and sampling. So I would say if you're gonna know things, those would be the things that I would recommend. So computer science fundamentals, statistics, if you don't know that yet, and analysis. Programming with Python is also really good because it's a lot more kind of hands-on as well. So you can see like numbers in Python. It's like super hands-on and it would tell you how to actually do the coding. I do think before you do or simultaneously while you're doing the coding in programming in Python part, I do recommend that you go through like the computational thinking and stuff like that because it is important to understand why you're doing certain things as opposed to just doing the programming part. But yeah, if you follow through the computational thinking, you would eventually get to the programming in Python bits. I hope that was helpful. Hope that was helpful. Thanks, Brilliant. Now we can read. You just move forward and turn. Hey, now I'm like so embarrassed, like my inability to read. We can't be sure. This is harder than it seems. Also, because I was nervous, because it was like nervous. I've never seen that before, and I'm doing it in front of like 150 of you guys just now. Like, oh my god. Do some live coding as well. I would go there now, but I have already too many sources to learn from. I'm already trying to watch with 2 to 3x speed, start vlogging travel videos as a tech girl. Nice. Yeah. I can do some live coding. So for the API stuff, we're gonna have to do live coding for that. I'm building out an app. I also do bioinformatics. Data sciences are no fun. Complex LLMs, AI architecture, how you get knowledge, some specific website books or something, how much time you spend a day on learning, and how you stay focused. As Tina, the YouTuber, I use ChatGPT a lot, to be honest. That's where I do that. There's like certain YouTube channels that I really like, depending on certain subjects that are there. Um, I also use resources like Brilliant or 365 Data Science, like for like kind of more in-depth things. I would like watch YouTube or talk to ChatGPT to figure out the structure of what I should be studying, and then I go to like specific resources where I would learn the thing it is that I'm trying to learn, if that makes sense. How do I stay focused? Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm very bad at focusing. I try my best just to whatever it is I'm trying to learn or study or use my brain, I try to do that as early as possible in the morning. That's how I would say. Because if I wait until later in the day, I'm probably just gonna not do it. Does it make sense to combine 365 data science and brilliant? I would say if you're more into video-based stuff, like you should go with 365 data science. And if you're more into kind of like interactive things, like actually going through it and then writing through um, the program, I would say with Brilliant is a lot better for that. Personally, what I would do if you do want to combine them together is I would watch 365 data science stuff and then I would practice it. But if I really want to go a lot deeper into it or understand the fundamentals more, I would go on Brilliant and then do the exercises. I've mentioned this before in like a few videos. Like Brilliant and I, it's not like a new partnership, which is why that they're like they were open to me talking about doing this sponsorship for this live stream um for yeah, like doing the sponsorships for these live streams potentially because we've been working together for I think almost like 2 years now. When I was first interviewing for data science at Meta, the only reason I passed the stats interview was actually because of Brilliant. So Meta did list Brilliant as its go-to resource for learning about statistics. So that's how I found out about Brilliant. And then they reached out to me saying, "Hey, like you want to work together?" So that's how it all happened. But yeah, it's really good for deep diving and for being super interactive. Um, and just conceptually speaking is really really good. Okay, what are the keys for LLMs? OpenAI keys, Hugging Face keys, etc. Yeah, so those are like things that you need to pay for in order to access the underlying model, which is usually like it would cost, I don't know how much it costs, like a few cents, I think, per call every time you're using that model. So that's where the paid part is. Mm. Is Brilliant useful for someone with some experience in coding? Yes, absolutely. I still use Brilliant personally myself even now, even though I've coded for a long time. Because there's a lot of like specific things, like for example, how large language models work. I can find that. Hmm, Computer science introduction. I think they had one with the large language models. They did. Yeah, like how large language models work. It's really, really good. So it's not just like kind of like telling you, oh, like this is what it is, we're like showing you how to do it. It would actually go through and explain to you exactly how it is that large language models would work. That's probably AI generated. Continue. Yeah. So it would go through these things and I would look at it for specific topics. For me, like my go-to for using Brilliant is definitely on the math side of things. Like I there's just a lot of math that's being covered. I probably learned a lot of it before, but I either like didn't really understand what was happening or I forget what's happening. So I would use that a lot. Use Brilliant a lot for the math part of things and for learning like neural networks and things that are kind of like hard to grasp sometimes. If you just watch tutorials, it does a really good job of breaking it down. So yeah, I already learned how to code before using Brilliant, so I've gone through some of this like fundamentals to look through it, but it does look like it's pretty good for that as well. Yeah. Oh, and they also do have stuff like advanced physics, scientific thinking. I have personally not done any of the physics stuff, but oh, Krzykstad is one of the contributing authors. I did not know that. But yeah, I haven't gone through any of like the physics and science side of things before, but I assume if you're interested, it probably does a pretty good job as well. But physics is not my thing. Physics was like, yeah, I took like 2 physics courses in college. That's pretty much it. Okay. See any questions? Orange 3 has a bioinformatics library. Can you teach us how to create our own VTubers? Oh my god, can we? I actually really want to talk about this. Do you want to talk about this? What do you guys want to talk about? Like, I have 10 minutes. What do you guys want to talk about? Do you want to talk about what's happening at OpenAI? Or do you want to talk about what we're going to do? Or do you want to talk about my take on influencer stuff now that there's such technologies? Choose your adventure on what to talk about for 10 minutes. OpenAI stuff, talk about what we're gonna do moving forward. Like if you guys want to do assistance API, if you guys want to do like GPTs or something like that, it's like any recommendations for tutorials in the future. Or if you guys want to talk about VTubers, what do you want to talk about? I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Stop. Okay. I use Brilliant. It's awesome. Totally worth it. Yeah, I honestly really do like using Brilliant. That's what we've been partnering for such a long time. I come to a stranger just to realize how stupid I am. What? No, why? Why? I don't think I said anything intelligent today. If it makes you feel better, I feel stupid every day. That's okay. Like wake up and have an existential crisis. That's literally what I do every day. Um okay, so please talk about your take on influencers. GPT's I am not talking about that. OpenAI stuff. I'm curious about Tina's opinion on VTubers. That's 2 votes for OpenAI, 2 votes for VTubers. I want you to transfer me into beautiful VTuber. That's 3 for VTubers, 4 for VTubers, 5 for VTubers. Okay, I guess we're talking about VTubers. For the OpenAI stuff, I am actually in the process of making a full video about the entire history of OpenAI. Hence the reason why I was making that assistant as well. Obviously, adding in more things and seeing how things are going to turn out with Sam. I'm probably going to do another update video. I don't want to do it now because we don't know. I don't believe we know yet if he's going to go back or not. I'm gonna leave my take on it for now. Probably gonna do another like update video and then release the full video sometime next week. Okay, let's talk about VTubers. That's why I stay in bed. Okay, let's talk about VTubers. Yeah, like I think this is kind of what I'm seeing already. There's a lot of AI generated content that's already coming out now, but it's nowhere near the wave of AI generated content that's going to be coming out. Because I was like checking out um like video content. Let me find what it is. Okay, I forgot. It's on Zapier. It's one of the Zapier integrations. You can check it out. But for the video content that's there, it is pretty it's really good right now at being able to create both the transcripts and actually saying it. It's not as good as in terms of creating like the storytelling side of things and the B-roll and stuff like that. So that part is definitely still missing. But say if you're like a commentary channel, I can totally see a completely AI generated, like not even VTuber, but like completely AI generated channel that does sports commentary, for example, or like news or things like that. Obviously, you can also create a VTuber, or you could just like clone yourself and then just have yourself say those things. And it's really, really hard to tell. If you do the brilliant course, like it shows you how hard it is to tell between what's real and what's fake these days now. Anyways, so that's kind of how things look like right now. The tools are all there to create a lot of content. With that being said, okay, what's a VTuber? Oh, VTuber is when you have an avatar that does the like streaming or video stuff as opposed to like a human, such as myself, doing it. Um, never thought about discuss this. But it's so much media. It's quite interesting with the creation and story behind it. Yeah, so that's kind of how I'm seeing it. There's probably going to be a lot more content that's going to be created, especially around like the news space and things. I think most of that is going to be automated in the future. I don't want to say like people, news anchors are just going to be out of a job. I do think that there's going to be a big reduction in that side of things for news anchors unless they learn how to create the content themselves using AI generated tools and to like increase their production, increase their like speed and things like that using those tools. If they manage to adapt, like the people who are going to be winning in that space are going to be the news anchors and companies that learn how to adapt and use these new tools because it's going to be very easy to generate that kind of stuff. But I do think high quality content is still going to be harder to achieve at this point from my experience like going through it. Like I can create everything completely generated content right now. The reason why I think I can make those videos better than what's default is because I have that experience understanding how to use storytelling techniques, for example, like how it is that you can provide evidence for things. These are all things, like, don't get me wrong, it's not things that cannot be done. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of tools that will go into like making these, like how it is that you can make better YouTube videos, how it is that you can tell better stories, and then putting in like B-roll and things like that as well. I'm sure all of that is coming out. Um, but I do think to be able to use these tools well in the next kind of few months, I would say even up to a year or two, you do need to understand how it is to create good content to begin with. So I would say if anybody's interested in this space, I highly recommend that you start using these tools because you can create content even faster than you can before. And I really think it's a really good idea to start using these tools and creating content. Um, yeah, that's kind of my take on things. There's probably going to be a really big wave of AI influencers that are going to be coming out. There's already AI influencers that are coming out now, but there's going to be a bigger wave coming future. It's probably going to be a big influx of shitty quality content, and a lot of the lower kind of not as insightful content is going to disappear. And the quality of content, the things that do survive, I think it is going to be picking really high quality content, like content creators who are really good at creating content, as opposed to some content that's out there where it's just like covering the news like verbatim, right? I think those kind of content channels are gonna go away. Or like reaction channels. It's like, oh, like commenting on TikToks or something like that. I do think unless you have a certain branding around it, that is going to be in jeopardy. Yeah, that's what I would say. Brilliant. ChatGPT, great learning experience. I need a tool that can read through Gmail email archives and summarize conversations that aren't already in the same thread. Ooh, yeah, you can. Okay, that's a good idea. Should I put out a poll later about like ideas that we can build? Um, yeah, should we do that? Like put out a poll later? Maybe I'll make a community post about ideas that we can build moving forward with like assistance API and things like that. Yeah, I think it would also be really helpful to like kind of show Brilliant, like, hey, like here's like some other things that I'm going to be building as well, and then all the different courses and things like that. Um, yeah, all the different courses and things like that that we can be creating together. That's why I stay in bed. What do you think about Sam Altman being sacked? Okay, are we done talking about influencers? What's your impact of AI and data science professionals? I think a lot of automation is going to be coming in to data analysis already has. So data science, people should be moving a lot more towards engineering is my take. I think you should be moving a lot more into engineering and development. Short answer. What are the tools? Give some names, starters. What tools are we talking about? Like for content creation, CapCut is one that I would recommend checking out. I think that filters of different kinds, like the first contact with a doctor and having a cold, also screening of different kinds of applications for social security. Yes, it's like a lot of lower level like things are going to be automated, including content. Because I've seen people getting GPTs to use CapCut to create a full video. Yep. Yeah, you totally can. And that's the thing. Like, I think these tools are really, really helpful. If you're good at telling stories and you know, and you're good at like collecting, doing your research, evidence, things like that, it would increase your creation process a lot better. And it also sets it's the barrier of entry is going to be a lot lower now, which overall is probably, overall, I think it's a good thing in terms of experience because, you'll be able to get higher quality content with the competition. But misinformation, like don't get me started. I'm like very concerned about misinformation because there's so much possibility of misinformation. It's yeah, like that part really concerns me because you can generate so many different types of content. You can be generating like riots, like fake riots that are happening and things like that. Yeah, it worries me a lot because these kind of things can spread like wildfire. Imagine if I'm like, let's not even talk about the elections, the US elections. I'm like terrified of what's going to happen at that time. I'm going to create a billion of YouTubers working for me $1 a day so they can give me $1 billion a day. You know what that okay, should we like create a VTuber for one of the for this series as well? Should we do that? Oh no. I would be down to do that. I've seen a competition between artists and AI. A guy used Stable Diffusion. The goal was to make a picture of the chosen person. The audience decided who won, not knowing. Oh my god, AI won. Shit. Yeah, I mean, I think that's really just going to be the case. The barrier is going to be lower. AI is going to be a lot of things. Um, I just think overall, my general take in terms of how AI is progressing, people who are in like people need to speak up more. First of all, given the Sam Altman situation and all this shit at OpenAI, it just shows that there's incompetence. Like there's a lot of incompetence, a lot of things that are there, and the discussion is not open. Like it's so scary how so few people have power over what's going to be happening to humanity at a very, very like large scale. So I really think people need to join in that conversation and really need to learn how to use AI, how to build these tools, like custom GPTs that we built today, how we're going to be building a lot of other things. Like just understanding how it works is the first step. And if you're the ones building it, for people interested in programming and software, this is the time to really get in this field. Okay. It really is the time because you're going to be the ones building in the software that's going to be integrated through all of our lives. So you want to be able to have a say as to how you're integrating that technology, right? Like you want to make sure the privacy policies are in place. You want to make sure that people are asking the right questions, and people who like if you're not necessarily into coding, like that's cool as well. Just I just say like whatever industry or domain that you're in, learn how to use these tools, try to understand how they work under the hood, and just like speak up, make the correct judgments, and push for privacy, push for making sure that things are done correctly. um yeah, I just think that's really, really important. We do not want to have like if something like the nuclear warfare thing happened now, it's just like we don't want to be in that position where the power lies in such few people that it could cause such devastation, right? And people who always lose are the civilians, are the people not in the highest level of power. Like we're the ones that always lose. So I just hope that we don't end up in a situation like that. Anyways, um book moon is harsh. Okay, I feel like I need to end on a good note. So I gotta run. I actually have a meeting with Ibrahim, which I have 10 minutes late for. Sorry, Ibrahim, if you're still here. I apologize. Okay, so I do have to run, but I just want to end on a note in saying like, yeah, like everything that we talked about today, like all the things that we're learning, like don't be the kind of person that goes like, oh no, like there's new technology, I'm just going to try to run away from it. I'm sure you're not if you're in this live stream, right? Like be the kind of person that learns about this, takes advantage of it, and then changes the trajectory of how it works. Because like especially on the internet, like you do have a say. Like the people have a lot of power if we band together and force certain things into change. We just need to be able to understand what it is that we're talking about. We need to like learn these tools and we need to have opinions about things. So please learn about AI. Okay, on that happy note. All right. Yeah. I'll keep you guys updated on the other live streams that are coming out as well. I'll probably put out a poll to see if there's any like certain tutorials that you're interested in doing for the next few live streams. But I hope this was helpful for everybody. I really hope it was helpful. And please do sign up for Brilliant. Do your homework. Do your homework as we have discussed. And I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Goodbye.